We have come to the end. This is the final stage of Imperishable Night. And one might wonder, what is our reward for having gone through all of these stages while listening to Usually Dead ramble about stuff that nobody cares about? And the answer is, there is no reward. In fact, we have found out nothing. We've become no more educated. There is nothing that we have gained here that we did not already have when the review started. And that was kind of the whole point of this. The question that I brought up when we got started back in stage 1, I still don't have an answer to it. Not an answer that I like. The closest thing that I've come to an answer, just to reiterate the question, is why is it that certain people like some characters and not others? Why is it that some people dislike certain characters or are indifferent to certain characters? The only answer I have come up to is not a very good one, and that answer is there is no reason whatsoever. It is entirely, completely, fortuitously arbitrary. And I come to this thought because I was in a... Oh, first real quick here. The reason I chose Stage B is because both Eirin and Kaguya are shown in this stage. And if I'd gone for Stage A, you'd only have gotten to see Eirin, which is a tragedy. I like Kaguya a lot, and we'll get to see her pretty quickly here. But I was in a discussion recently online of people... It was a din. It was a ruckus. It was a bedlam of people just shouting out on top of each other, virtually speaking, of course. It was in an IRC channel. Well, I like this character because of this, and I like this, and another person says, well, I dislike that character for a different reason. And then they say, I like this character for this, and this character for that. And I'm just sitting back there and watching. This is all entirely useless, because whenever we say that we like a character, what we're truly saying is that we like what that character means to us. Like here, Kaguya. She's cute, I like her. We like what that character means to us. And this makes it just entirely arbitrary, because if I say that I like Kaguya because she's got, you know, the pretty dress and the long dark hair and the fun bullet patterns and this song is just awesome on so many levels, but we'll get into that later. If I say that I like all those things, I really haven't succeeded in saying anything useful. All I've succeeded in saying is, I am me, and I like the things that I like. And, you know, if we were to express this in mathematical terms, it would basically come out to the idea of 2 equals 2. You know, it'd be no more complicated or useful of an expression than that. And I mean, this is not to discount the you know, friendly fun that we can have by having friends discuss what they like and why they like it and all of that. But we have to realize the use of such a discussion. And there really isn't that much to it. It's just basically me showing off what I think and what I feel. And honestly, other people may not necessarily care. And in all honesty, when I look at like the characters that I like, I find maybe I don't really care all that much as to why I like them. Maybe just the fact that I do is the important thing. Like, I remember this. Everybody's heard the cliche of the high school PE coach who forces his students to act together on the, you know, simple basketball team with the cliche of there is no I in team. Phonetic coincidence and linguistic coincidence, yes, there is no letter I in team, which means necessarily that we can say that there is no word I in team, which means that we can say that you should not focus on yourself, but rather you should focus upon your teammates. Okay, whatever. Now, I would like to take this cliche and modify a little bit. I can say, yes, I love Kaguya as a character. Can I say why? No, because there is no Y in love. Yeah, that's right. There is no letter Y in love, which means there is no... That's right. I'm a horrible person for putting that out there. But I think there's really something powerful to be said for that, because the things that you like and the things that you enjoy and the aesthetics that you appreciate and the people that you associate with, you can't tell me why you like those things or do those things, because it's just who you are. And there is no reason for that. You know, who you are is the reason. That is the fundamental fact upon which other facts are based. And, well, anyway, okay, enough of that rambling. I want to talk about the 5 impossible requests, because it's pretty cool. Zune will often take bits of Japanese lore, most often in mutilating whatever yokai creatures appear in Japanese mythology and putting them into his games. But what he did in Imperishable Night is particularly cool. Here we have Kaguya, who is supposedly named after the princess from the old Japanese bit of folklore, the Flight of the Bamboo Cutter. And so Princess Kaguya, supposedly a girl who came from the moon or something like that, I don't know what, has a whole bunch of male suitors who want her hand in marriage, but she says, you know what, absolutely not, you're all boring, and I'm not going to marry any one of you unless you can provide me with 5 impossible requests, which means going off off to find some really obscure, ridiculous, mystical items. And we see those 5 impossible requests represented here in the spell cards. And, you know, this is actually very, very creative, and this is one of the smarter things that Zune has done in the release of his games, you know, modifying everything to be Danmaku, everything to be a top-down shooter, curtain fire kind of thing. Now, most especially, this attack right here, I have mixed feelings about this one, because this one, Impossible Request Rainbow Danmaku, I would have to say that this thing is simultaneously the most beautiful and the most frustrating of all of the Stage 6 final spell card attacks. And I guess it's not technically a final, but I will say that it's, you know, there are some that are more difficult, there are some that are more frustrating, but none of them have the combination of beauty and frustration. And I don't even want to call this spell card pattern particularly that hard. I call it frustrating because you'll notice her life bar up at the top of the screen there. I've been shooting her for about 10 seconds now, and it's not going down. It's just, well, now it just barely started to go down. And I thought, well, okay, if you want the spell card pattern to last that long, do you need to make me feel as though I'm not making any progress? Can't we just make it so that the life bar in its entirety moves down more slowly, rather than making the first part of the battle just do nothing? And I realize it's just an aesthetic thing, and who really cares, but that's part of just how I feel about it. And okay, here's something that is not really unique to Imperishable Night, but the way in which it's done isn't unique to it. Here are bonus spell cards, and these I can't attack Kaguya here. I just get a bonus if I manage to clear the spell card without dying. Kaguya herself is, I really like her as a character, and I want to say just what I like about her, even though as we've explored I can't really tell you why. She's depicted as the NEET, the woman who is not in education, employment, or training. You know, in doujinshis and fanon and such like that, you'll see her just sitting at home playing on her computer, browsing 4chan or 2chan all day long. And, you know, she really loves Ragnarok Online and other MMOs. And this comes from the canon depiction of the fact that she's kept inside for some reason that I don't really care enough to understand, you know, whatever. Yeah, so, but she's got a real classiness to her. And I can explain it no better than that. And that kind of, you know, develops upon the point that I had earlier that I may like the aesthetics of Kaguya, but this explains absolutely nothing as to why I like those aesthetics more than anything else. You know, why do I like the NEET princess even slightly more than I like the obsessive genius pharmacist, or the gun-toting bunny, or the mischievous liar bunny, or any of the other personalities in these games? There is no reason. And that, as sad as I must say it is so, is the conclusion I have to come to about why we like certain things. There is no why. There just isn't. You can't say it. The preferences that you have cannot be expressed verbally, and such is the condition of we poor mortals. Perhaps, if we get to live as long as Erin and Kaguya do with their Horai elixir whatever, we may get the chance to express these things. But until then, let's be happy to being mortal, because gosh, being alive that long must suck. This is, and has been, and shall always be, Usually Dead, having just completed a review of Imperishable Night. Watch, comment, multiply, grow, be awesome. Whatever you do, don't become a NEET, because you're not going to horn in on her territory. See ya.